Hey, welcome back to World Entertainment, and things are heating up regarding the sale of Warner Brothers Discovery because Netflix, of course, won the bid. Paramount pushed back and went straight to the shareholders. The board for Warner Brothers had to respond. They did. They're trying to push the whole thing off. No, the Paramount deal is worse than the lower offer we accepted from Netflix because it screws over the board, not the actual shareholders. But now it's looking like things could be going in a different direction. The winds have changed because we are now seeing that Paramount have re-amended their offer, and doubts are now starting to surface over Netflix actually completing this deal. So if you didn't know, and it mightn't be in the articles, but if you didn't know, the thing with the board of Warner Brothers pushing back was they had to respond, and they had to go straight to their shareholders, and they did. And they tried to convince the shareholders that the Netflix deal, which was 82 billion compared to Netflix's or to Paramount's 100 and what's it, it's something like 120 or something billion dollars, where Netflix were also only offering $28 per share while Paramount were offering $30 per share, was they were trying to convince them, oh, but Paramount didn't give us any real guarantees. They didn't give us answers to questions we had, so Netflix was the better option. Now that they've amended all these things and are kind of telling them, no, this is what our plan was, we told you this is going to be interesting. So Netflix's chances of closing a deal for Warner Bros. Discovery appeared to be slipping as rival bids and new financial guarantees from Paramount Skydance shake up the race. According to Polymarket, decentralized prediction market, where users bet on real-world outcomes, the odds of Netflix completing a deal for Warner Bros. Discovery have fallen sharply. The market now puts Netflix's chances at 61%, down from 80% just days ago, signaling growing skepticism amongst traders that a deal gets done. Likewise, on the Kalshi, I think it is, app, the odds of Netflix successfully taking over Warner Brothers are only at 53%, while Paramount's odds have been raised to 44%. The shift comes as competing offers gain momentum and questions surface about valuation and deal structure, which again is kind of where they're pushing to the shareholders to say, your board of directors are taking a worse offer than what we've offered them. And the only reason that could be the case is because the board are getting a better deal than the shareholders and everyone else. So it says, following reported concerns from the Warner Brothers board, Paramount disclosed in a SEC filing that Larry Ellison has personally stepped in to backstop financing tied to the competing bid. Larry Ellison has agreed to provide an irrevocable personal guarantee of $40.4 billion of the equity financing for the offer and any damages claims against Paramount, the filing states. The move strengthens the Ellison-backed proposal and raises pressure on Warner Bros. Discovery's board as it weighs competing paths forward. According to New York Post business reporter Charles Gasparino, or something like that, insiders believe Warner Bros. Discovery may still view Netflix's offer as superior despite the Ellison's guarantee. Charles reports that Netflix's cash stock proposal includes additional value tied to the equity stub from a cable asset spinout, which would include CNN and Discovery as a new publicly trading company. Now, the thing about that part is interesting because the likes of CNN and Discovery and stuff, Netflix don't want that. That's the other part about this deal that doesn't really make sense, is that Paramount want everything. You know, they've offered for everything, CNN, Discovery, all of that stuff. Whereas the Netflix end of things doesn't. They don't want that. So it's kind of like, well, what way are you trying to go about this? And how do you keep trying to say the Netflix offer is the better offer? It can't be. It absolutely can't be. The only thing that could be happening is that the Netflix offer guarantees the board of directors more financial guarantees than anything else. So they must be getting a great big payout. So you get to see this part here as well, where it says the amendment includes 40.4 billion in equity financing personally guaranteed by Ellison. The Oracle co-founder also agreed not to revoke the Ellison Family Trust. Furthermore, the company raised its termination fee for the transaction from 5 billion to 5.8 billion, matching Netflix's own breakup fee, also of 5.8 billion. The breakup fee, by the way, is if for whatever reason you pull out of the deal, like if a deal is accepted and you drop out for whatever reason, you have to pay Warner Brothers $5.8 billion, which is insane, but that's what they've put in. So you're seeing where they're increasing the offers. They're giving absolute more guarantees and stuff. This to the board would make them have to go, uh-oh, if the shareholders see this, they're going to force us to take the Paramount deal. The only thing that's not being offered in the Paramount deal, as far as we can see, is whatever sweetheart deal Netflix has given to the board of directors. So it's interesting. And don't forget, one of the things that Netflix is saying is, oh, one of the guarantees we've given them is that David Zaslav can stay on board as CEO and all this stuff. And that's why he jumped at the chance to work with Netflix. Even though Paramount, in their second offer, before Netflix even considered jumping into this race, gave that guarantee to Zaslav. That was one of the things they said, we want to keep him on as CEO. So it makes no sense. So the shareholders really will be looking into this. But as we've said before, and we will continue to say, this whole thing is far from over. And it looks like Paramount will keep pushing for this better offer and to try and secure Warner Brothers. And again, it's interesting that Netflix is trying to say, oh, we've guarantees for what will happen with the likes of CNN and Discovery Channel and all that stuff, when it was like, no, your offer excludes all that stuff because you literally only want the movie end of things and HBO. That's it. That's all they want. Whereas the Paramount deal wants everything. They want the Warner Brothers side. They want the Discovery side. And that was one of the key things as well. Because through the Netflix deal, you're still looking at the company getting split in half. Whereas with Paramount's deal, it's all together going in. So it's going to get interesting. It is getting interesting, but let's see what comes of this. So what do you guys think? Do you think Paramount are going to still get the better end of it? Do you think Netflix will still prevail? Let me know. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.